Namaste. Welcome. Greetings. Peace and many blessings. Shalom. What's up? Magick La Croix here on this day of Jupiter. And hopefully your week went well. It's almost the end of the week. It's almost the weekend. Whatever you do to wind down, I hope you do it. Looks like the Farmer's Almanac predicted a unusually cold winter for Texas and most of the United States. And I'm like, okay, so this is what was it, 2021 or 22? Because remember when it happened, when we got that ice storm here in Texas, and many of us were trapped because there were ice on all sides of us. I said then that Texas was the test one. Okay. I think when I said that many people thought that it was going to happen right away, but no. They do their thing strategically. They stretch it out. It's not going to happen right away, but um, that's when I made that video. So what did we learn? If you use the search function on here on my channel, you'll find that's when I did that video and told you survival techniques. Uh, having plenty of batteries, sternos, candles, matches, um, sleeping bags, tents, plenty of like non-perishable food like peanut butter and canned goods, tuna in water, not in oil, uh, MREs if you can get them, but they looking like they're kind of expensive now. Just a bunch of stuff that so people wouldn't get caught with their pants down again, because a lot of people were. It was like 4 days of hell, here. If you recall, because I had family members checking on me, like, cuz you okay? My sister was like, what's going on down there? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So just like then, I don't think a lot of people paid attention. There were constant warnings right around now, right around November, where they were telling people to prepare. It's going to be a cold winter. You see what I'm saying? So, again, I don't think people took it seriously back when it happened. And then, bam, we got millions of people who were stuck in their house, no power. Um, Sad to say, I know a sister who lost her life. She burnt her. I don't get the logic in that, to be quite honest, and I'm not trying to make fun of her, but she burned her furniture. But you can see the desperation in people when they don't know what to do. She burned her furniture to keep her and her family warm. Ended up burning them all up. You know what I mean? So there's a really simple trick about keeping heat inside one room. You would need a ceramic pot, and you can use tea light candles, like 4 of them. Put them under the ceramic pot and make sure it's elevated, and you can heat one room from that, or use a tent and make a tent over your bed, or you can stay in the bed, and and whoever can keep your body heat. It will actually probably get hot. You probably start sweating. You know what I'm saying? So there's a bunch of survival tips. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. All I'm saying is the last time, I believe in patterns. I pay attention to patterns. The last time they did that is when we had that winter storm. So with that being said, namaste, namaste. What's up? Who's here? Anybody here? Let's see. Let's see. is when we don't forget to hit that like button, share and subscribe. Help your boy out in the channel. What's going on, Moon Feather? Namaste. Namaste, EJ Taylor. Peace, Brother Moore. What's going on, Caribbean Grimoire? Peace. Peace, peace. Namaste, Katrina. Katrina, you slacking. I haven't gotten nothing from you the past day or so. What's up with that? You usually give me something that's so good that I usually got to share it. Let me see. Did you? Oh, you know what? My bad. Oh, this was the last thing that Katrina showed me, y'all. This was the last thing. When I saw this, I was like, the kid is probably not lying. What's going on, brother? Butterfly Rain? Christine, peace, 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 peace. This is the last thing I got from you, Katrina. They say kids are terrifying, but see why this kid is terrifying.
You musty?
Jesus. No. Wrong one. Go to another. Wait.
You musty?
Jesus.
You musty?
Jesus.
You musty?
Jesus. I don't know. For some reason, it's acting up. Some reason it says kids are terrifying, but it's showing me something different. Oh my God. I just saw another one, y'all, that I think y'all might want to see. Out of the mouth of babes, y'all. Out of the mouth of babes. Look at that. When your mom. All right, I ain't gonna keep sharing that, but I just happened to stumble upon that one. What's up, Nate the Great? What's going on? What's going on? Peace, peace, peace. Like I said though, it was like almost 90 degrees yesterday, and now today it is cloudy, it is rainy, it is dreary. They're expecting a cold front. So prepare, especially if you stay ready, you never have to be ready. You feel me? What's up, Rayshawn Justice? Namaste, brother Lloyd. Okay. So I gotta ask this question before I continue. Well, I haven't really said anything, but do any of you like Westerns? Does anybody like Westerns? I am just now getting into Westerns. I'm actually enjoying the hell out of it. I don't know what sparked my interest, but I said, you know what? I have avoided Westerns for a long time. Let me see what's the hype about? Because I know a lot of people who like Westerns, like really like them. One of my uncles had a whole collection and he loved Clint Eastwood. So anybody here like Westerns? Love, peace, and power, brother Konami. Just like I just within the past year started getting into noir films, black and white noir films. And if you look at these old movies, you will see that older movies during Hollywood's golden age are a whole lot better than the current ones that's coming out. There's more substance to the stories. You know, they don't rely on cinematography and special effects. They rely on the actual story. You know, so Yeah, I'm just now getting into westerns. Saturday that just passed, I watched Tombstone, True Grit, and Unforgiven, which is three modern classics. But then I watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm about to watch A Fistful of Dollars, and then after that, another classic. So I even found a Western cable channel that we had that I didn't even know about. So they're showing the old classics like Bonanza and Gunsmoke, and like I said, whatever age you think I am, it took me until this age to get into westerns. But better late than never, right? Good handful of them. Okay. Westerns have some Moorish and Native Indian stories and myths in them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was waiting. This is why I like my audience. And this is why I say I got a quality. I don't care about the numbers. You know what I mean? I have a quality, and I say that with all sincerity. I have a quality audience. Y'all know how to think for yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, you're not sheep. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody who comes to these lives to chop it up with me. And I do mean that. Quality over quantity. I would rather have quality people that I can engage with instead of a bunch of mindless sheep who just want me to give spells and rituals out. Not too crazy about them, but the Clint Eastwood ones are good. Okay. Peace. Vega, what's going on? Tombstone was dope. Yes, yes. What's going on, Tosh? Yes. I love what Rayshawn Justice said. Western has some Moorish and Native Indian stories and myths in them. You know what I'm saying? They just now released a movie. I think it's a movie, or it's a series. I think it's a series called Bass Reeves, who the Lone Ranger was based on. If you ever watched that series, Watchmen, the first episode opens with them not just attacking Black Wall Street in 1921, but the the boy was sitting in a theater by himself with his mother playing the piano and watching Bass Reeves on the screen as the city was getting attacked, from all sides and from the air. Like I said before, if you never heard me say it before, that was government sanctioned. I mean, they came with planes to bomb that city. It was doing that well. Uh, Posse, A Fistful of Dollars, The Quick and the Dead. The Quick and the Dead. I don't think anybody mentioned that one to me. The Quick and the Dead. Who's in The Quick and the Dead? Let's see. Louis L'Amour. Huh. Sam Elliott. Okay. I like him as an actor. All right. Thanks for that suggestion. What year did this come out? 87. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Not sure if you spoke on this yet, but have you heard about Clint Eastwood being a black man? I have not heard that. Not at all. Bass Reeves was the shit. The Harder They Fall was great. Yes. One of the makeup artists that I'm really cool with, she worked on that set. So she always tell me things before they come out. And she told me like a month prior, watch out for this movie, The Harder They Fall. It's gonna be dope. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I think that might be the last thing I've seen. What's his name? Jonathan Majors in that, and Loki, and they really blackballed him. I think they really blackballed Jonathan Majors. But where can I find some information on that, Vega? You said Clint Eastwood is being a black man. Bone tomahawk. Bone tomahawk. Huh. That's crazy. Bone tomahawk. Oh, 2015. Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, Richard Jenkins, Lily Simmons, even David Arquette, and Sid Haig. Oh, 2015 American Horror Western Cannibal movie. Speaking of which, horror Western is a genre. It's one with Wesley Snipes in it. Talking about zombies, but it's in the West. Um, or they're vampires. Gallow Walkers. Check that one out. Gallow Walkers. That came out 2012. I'm sorry. They call it a Western horror film. I meant The Lone Rage, I believe, which Konami stated his vast read. Oh yeah, I was like, I thought Clint Eastwood was a Caucasian man. Yeah, Gallow Walkers. Gallow Walkers. Yes. All right. I got something to show y'all. Horror Western. Yeah, right up my alley. I think I started it, but I never finished it. Um, so again, I like what Rayshawn Justice said about Morris Myth and natives. Of course, it's Hollywood, so they're gonna whiten it up. They're always gonna do that. It is what it is, you know. Um, so one of his classics, we're now switching gears, talking about Azazel Bay. One of his classic lectures is called Galactic Nightmare. Now, I don't know if I actually spoke about this before, but Galactic Nightmare is one of his classics. It costs over $100. Um, it's one of those real dark side. What he did was nothing short of amazing to me. He went to Salem, Massachusetts. Went to Salem, Massachusetts. Him and his then queen. They went to a graveyard, right? Went to a graveyard where Tituba, the Black Witch of Salem, was buried, and they did a ritual in there. You're not going to catch me doing anything in the graveyard or the cemetery unless it's absolutely necessary. That's just me, though. I don't like disturbing those spirits there. That's me. I'll be the first to admit I just don't. I'm uncomfortable. But if my life depended on it, of course I would do it. But I don't have to do it. See what I'm saying? So if you get a chance, and I think I put it in my Patreon. I'm not sure, but if you get a chance, peep that particular lecture. I want to show you a clip from that lecture. Uh,
She's alive! Alive!
Praise the fucking Lord. This particular tape is a special tape, and it's going to deal specifically with rituals. And as a matter of fact, me and a witch went to Salem, Massachusetts, which is my girlfriend, to perform a specific ritual with the dead. We're going to get into that a little later on, and we're going to give you the history surrounding that. But every time this particular tape is played, this tape will propagate and continue to initiate that particular ritual. It will be similar to the Evil Dead. Every time this tape is played, the energy of the Evil Dead will manifest itself, and the people who play the tape, good fortune will come to them. And so what I did was I pulled out a few tarot cards to dedicate to the witches and the zombies that are going to help manifest this power to destroy our enemies, you see, whoever they may be. And I don't have to mention the name of our enemy. We're not talking about personal enemies, although some of them may have personal vendettas against you or I. But we're talking about something that's galactic. So I pulled out a few tarot cards. And one of the tarot cards, this is the Six of Crystals, called Confusion. Confusion. Remember, the tarots are coming from the Moors. They're magical cards coming from the Moors. And there are various uses for these particular cards. So this particular card here, we want to cause confusion and destruction upon our enemies. Confusion and destruction. Here is another card called Death. This is the card that the sniper used. You see, death. We wish death upon their spirits. We call upon the witches. We call upon the zombies that are in our use to perform through us the manifestation of their power against the enemies that trap them. And
I'm gonna stop right there real quick. Let me just say that this is part of the great work, what he's talking about here. You know, he didn't do this ritual for aesthetic purposes or selfish purpose. He did this, he said, our enemy. He said a galactic enemy. You see what I'm saying? This is what it's been all about the entire time. Leveling the playing field and helping your particular tribe out. You see what I'm saying? So not only did he do that, but he said, anytime this tape is played, great fortune comes to you. All right? It's up to you whether you believe that or not. Okay? Let me go to your comments real quick before I go back. Jonah Hex. I heard about Jonah Hex. I don't think I've seen it. Jonah Hex. Hey, now I'm free. Yes, graveyard work. That was the greatest opening I've ever heard. I actually wanted to show the entire opening. I did. However, it is 20 minutes long. Okay? 20 minutes long. All right, so I'm going to go back to maybe half of where I'm at right now. And let's see if I can show you at least a part of it. Let me see. Because like I said, it's 20 minutes long. The opening. Just the opening. All right, here we go.
Okay, we forgot the candles, huh? All right, what we're going to do is we're going to just try to conjure up some of the energy here.
The tuba. Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies, one of the crown princes of hell. He is in the actual graveyard. Him and his then girlfriend, they're actually filming in the graveyard. Look at these words here. These are names right here. Man was basically way ahead of his time. You never catch Magic La Croix in the graveyard filming, much less doing a ritual. Like I said, only if I absolutely had to. That calls on some power, though, to do graveyard work. That really calls on some power. Okay. 20 minutes, y'all. 20 minutes long. Just the opening. he actually, if I was to do, I only do an hour at a time. So if I was to do 20 minutes of it, that's a third of my time right there. But it's more of what you just saw. He was talking and walking around, and he went to Tuba's grave. You know what I'm saying? If I am not mistaken, they did a ritual of an intimate nature inside there, right? How dope is that? How dope is that? Also, I wanted to show y'all something. Remember, I'm always saying that uh, some of the books that I've collected, some of the grimoires I've collected, cost a lot of money. All right. For instance, the Voodoo Sorcery Grimoire was $60. You may not think that's expensive, but the fuck, $60 for a book? Yeah. Um, and that's one of the best books on voodoo magic that I know of. The other one is called the Voodoo Magic Course. Okay? Written by a Hoogan, voodoo priest, my brother Moloch. Right? Another one of the books that I have, Ancient Civilizations Believe in Their Manhoods. For the men, manhood, potency. All right. They wrote a whole book on magical potency incantations. That's how serious they took sex or lovemaking. All right. Now it's tossed around lightly now, but back then there was a lot of spiritual aspects to having sex. And they didn't just have sex just to be busting a nut. There were reasons for it. One of these books is called Saziga, Mesopotamian Potency Incantations. $200. I bullshit you not. It costs $200. Give me a second. Yep. I know I have spoke about this book before, but it had to have been over a year by now that I actually spoke on it. $200. And it's not very thick at all. Okay. I don't think you can even buy it anymore. But let me show you one of the rituals, one of the incantations that's in this book. Let the wind blow, let the grove quake, let the clouds gather, let the moisture fall, let my potency be flowing river water. Let my penis be a taut harp string so that it will not slip out of her. Wow. And then over here, where you see my pointer at, this is the incantation in Sumerian, right? And then they give you the instructions. You take a harp string and tie 3 knots in it. You recite the incantation 7 times. You tie it around his right and left hands, and then he will recover potency. Let me tell you, I have done rituals out of this book, and the results were fan-fucking-tastic. Do you think that when a person does that level of work, what's this word here? That level of work, creatively reawakening of life. So you're gonna have to rephrase that, please, because I don't understand what you mean. Do you think that when a person does that level of work, create a reawakening of live souls in the living plane? Greetings, amazingly. A reawakening of live souls. A reawakening, is that the word you want to use? Reawakening of live souls? I don't quite understand what you mean by that. So please, at your convenience, rephrase that. But yeah, this is one of my most expensive books, $200. Okay. I'm sure you can go on Amazon. I'm not sure they still have this book anymore. I bought it years ago, maybe 10 years ago. But there are some badass potency rituals in it. There's one that I gave out before from this book. Remember, when you start to do your path, when you start traveling along your path, you get to a point where you can substitute things. You're going to have to. Bed, sun. That's it. Bed, sun. Says rituals, pukutu seed, and partridge blood. You recite this incantation over them 7 times. Your penis will stay erect. And she broken. Some of these are broken incantations. But shit is powerful. Like I said, I have done rituals out of this book. All right, so back to your question. My bad. I was doing the graveyard ritual. When they do that live work, do you think it activates the past life energy of people who may resonate with the spirit's call? I don't think that. But then again, I don't know enough to actually speak on it either. You know, my personal opinion is no, but I could be wrong. All right. I'm the first to say when I don't know something. And unfortunately, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. There are also, just in case you don't want to start collecting books, just say you don't want to collect the classic books. Even though I suggest it, you don't have to do it. You can always follow your own path of intuition. But there are some books that are composite books, right? When I say composite, meaning there are books within books. Okay. For example, the Book of Black Magic and of Pacts by A.E. Waite. Okay. That's a composite grimoire, right? Let me show you what I mean. Excuse me. If you look here, I'm going to show you. You can't see what I'm looking at. All right. The Arbitel of Magic, right? You got the Enchiridion of Pope Leo, another classical grimoire, right? The Key of Solomon, see, composite rituals. The Lesser Key of Solomon, the fourth book of Cornelius Agrippa, the Heptameron, all right? And then you have this, the Grimorium Verum, the Grand Grimoire, the Grimoire of Honorius, and the Black Pullet. All of these in one book, okay? But it's not the whole book, it's rituals from these classic grimoires. So there are some books out here that's like that. When you get a chance, pick up. This is one of the classic ones. I actually suggest having it if you are considering or if you are actually moving forward in the magical path. What's up, Brent Booker? Gotcha. I have so many books. I had that early on my path, never got around to it, got caught up with other books. Yeah, that'll happen. And this is why I have folders of grimoires everywhere. I have them on my phone. I have them on my tablet. I have them on my external hard drives. I have them on my laptops. You know, so my backups have backups. I have them on flash drives. You know what I mean? I carry them with me everywhere I go. Okay. But that's one of the ones. The other book that's a composite grimoire is called The Secret Lore of Magic by Idris Shah. That's another. Okay. It'll take elements from classic grimoires and put it into one book. All right. That's some powerful shit there. Okay. I have noticed ancient languages being a greater power to rituals, Sanskrit, Latin. Absolutely. I always say saying a spell or incantation, doing this in his native language in which the spell was created is more powerful. All right. You take the Javanese spell that I gave out how many times on this channel? The Javanese, that spell works no matter who uses it. All right. No matter who uses it. And that's a Javanese language. Okay. It got to the point where I know that ritual by heart, or well, incantation by heart. But yeah, saying them in Latin or Sanskrit or Egyptian, I come to see that saying things in Egyptian is harder, you know, because it's a blend of Greek and Egyptian, like from the PGM, the Greeks, the Greek magical papyri, that's Greek Egyptian, Greco-Egyptian. You see what I'm saying? Some of those words are really, really hard to pronounce. Okay, but you can do it. Just use Google Translate. All right, so I want to go back to this one where we left off, where Azazel was explaining. Remember I said that I've shown y'all that this was the lecture where I actually got that tarot deck because I saw him use it in this particular lecture. It's called the Voyager deck. They big. They about that big. I don't think I have it. I don't think I have it within reach, but it's a great, great tarot deck, and the images are fantastic. The artwork is fantastic. You didn't notice what he said too. Tarot decks come from the Moors. All right. Remember what Rayshawn Justice said earlier. That's what's included in some Westerns. Moorish mythologies, native mythologies. See what I'm saying? All right. So that being said, let's go back to it. But he's explaining this.
You see, death. We wish death upon their spirits. We call upon the witches. We call upon the zombies that are in our use to perform through us the manifestation of their power against the enemies that trap them. And this card here is the Ace of Worlds, which is success in this particular video and ritual. And we also call on the spirits for illumination. Illumination, which is the Ace of Wands. We call for harmony. We call for harmony amongst the spirits of like minds. No dissension and no confusion to those within the realm of the spirit in these last days, with the spirit of understanding. We call upon the universe, because the universe is our original home. We manifest through light particles. We come through black holes. So we want to plant, we want the seeds of the universe to continue to plant within our universe, which is within us. We're going to talk about that. The 10 of Worlds, which is the reward that we offer to the spirits that are going to open up the gates of hell and manifest on the planet Earth for the destruction of our enemy. So we want to bring an offering, whatever it may be, whatever it is precious to you, like gold, is to those of this physical realm. We want to offer that to the spirits of the evil dead. And the 10 of Wands for growth in the spirit. In the spirit. We call upon the energy of the seer, which is the Sage of Wands, which is Vodun or voodoo. We want to call upon the magician, the magi, the Moors. Now, we're not talking about all dead people's personalities per se. We're talking about the left behind energy that we want to manifest through us. You have to understand, we are but batteries. We are only batteries. And that's why we can't really, a lot of times we have a lot of confusion amongst ourselves, you see. And that confusion stems from various doctrines. But we must understand that these various doctrines are only currents of electricity that move through the planet. And you, as a person manifest in the physical flesh, are a battery or receptor for the various currents of electricity that move throughout the planet, like a battery. A battery dies, but the electricity continues to move throughout the planet. You may die, but your energy continues to exist in a specific electrical vein. This person, okay, we have certain people may follow the teachings of Dr. York. This person teaches of someone else. Even Christians may have their specific preachers, because that is like a AA battery or D battery that fits in a specific mode that makes them receptive to that electrical current, which makes you receptive to the electrical current that you're hearing right now. Has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with you. You are just a battery later to discard this physical body and join the various energies that's manifesting through you at this particular moment.
Deep. This is one of my favorite ones. And Brother Moore, he might have just answered your question that you asked me earlier. You know what I'm saying? He said a battery Think of the Matrix. Didn't Morpheus tell Neo that? They just want to use us as batteries. He just gave you another hint. You know what I'm saying? So what he's saying basically is your essence is energy or electricity. Okay. They still cannot find its origin. They don't know where electricity originates from. Okay. But they do know that it is one of the key components of the entire universe. Okay. Think about it. There are electrical impulses inside your brain. All right. Everything has electricity, every living thing. You know, electricity animates every living thing. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, if you can get what I was just saying, this particular lecture, please do. Okay. His Dark Side classic lectures are the shit. For the aspiring occultist, it is gold. I promise you. All right. Another thing he said is being confused. I noticed he said this as well. Then think about how much they are spraying the skies. It's just about every day now. I see planes up there spraying chemtrails. It pisses me off every time. You see what I'm saying? They are constantly attacking the mentality of the masses. If you pay attention to social media, just pay attention. You will see there is an abundance of mental issues. I'm not talking about just the melanated community. I'm talking about everybody. Okay. It's like everybody is mad, literally insane. Okay. There was one yesterday. I was wondering everywhere I went, someone was driving way below the speed limit. Just, you know what I said, I know I'm not tripping. Everywhere I went, I ended up behind somebody who was just taking their time. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it in the water. You know what I mean? You have people right now abandoning children and pets like never before. Think about all this happening right now. You know what I'm saying? You got people, occultists, sleeping in cars. Okay? Shit is bad all over. It's not just one, it's not confined to one area. All right. The reason I'll be pushing magic so hard because I still believe that magic is what's going to save the population. Now, I still could be wrong about that. But it is what it is. Yes, the PGM, I have one of the tablets. They are dummy hard to pronounce. Did you mean to say it like that? They are dummy hard to pronounce. Yeah. Another book that I think you should have, all right, that is one of the first books. Remember I said when I first saw the craft, this is what sparked my interest in the craft. Because of course I thought that I would have that kind of power. I foolishly thought that at first, right? But it wasn't just that. I just started gathering books like from Raymond Buckland and Llewellyn Publishing. Got a lot of occult books. But another book that I bought was called Cosmic Trigger. Y'all heard of this book before? It is written by Robert Anton Wilson. His teacher was Timothy Leary. Timothy Leary has been arrested for writing books. How do you get arrested for writing books? Anyway, Cosmic Trigger should be one of the first, in my opinion, one of the first books that you get a hold of. Look at the table of contents here. The Sirius connection is the first thing he talk about. Okay. From the Sufi, the introductory fables, from the ancient Babylonian and from the Zen tradition. Okay. Did a leprechaun lead the Simonton pancakes? He's being funny when he says so. He has a very good sense of humor. Okay. Multiple realities, the murder of Christ, a rerun. Jim Garrison and the Illuminati, Operation Mindfuck, okay? The Horrible Secrets of the Wicked Aleister Crowley, all right? The Lady of Guadalupe, Sirius Rising, the Holy Guardian Angel, and so on and so on and so on. Magic, technology, or both. Those mysterious Sufis. You know who the Sufis are. The woolly-head ones. Okay? Some Egyptian gods intrude on a narrative, and Our Lady of Space speaks again. All right? Nikola Tesla, secular shaman, a lesson in karma, witchcraft, stopping the biological clock, the prospects of immortality, of the starry signals, the footsteps of the Illuminati, and so on and so on. Mystery Babylon, the Horse Hawk, and Uri Geller, the Mothman prophecies. Okay. Further fables and allegories, the Sufi, the Jewish, the German, serious evidence. Okay. And then a final fable from the Egyptian, Blood of the Gods, the Dark Companion, and so on and so on and so forth. It is an excellent book that I try to go to every year if I can. All right. Every year. Cosmic Trigger. He did at least 2 more after that. I remember those days working from old grimoires. One of my favorites is the 6 and 7 books of Moses. That is one of the most powerful ones. You know what I'm saying? I have Cosmic Trigger and Quantum Psychology. That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All 3 volumes are dope. They really are. All right. I'm not sure how that helped me on my path in the beginning, but it did. Okay. Knowing all this stuff that they hide from you, it triggered something in me. And so I was able to move forward. See what I'm saying? He has another not well-known lecture called, what's it called? The Immortals. Okay? The Immortals. He does it with this guy who's named Black Herman. All right? Young guy. I'm not sure. I think people who live in New York would know this man. But let's go to it real quick. Real quick.
This is the 3rd class
We say this is
so
the
far.
3rd class.
And I wish everybody could have seen the whole series because as it progresses,
It might be kind of difficult to understand some of the things I talk about in the future if you miss some of the classes. Or if you can, if you can afford it in the future, get the tapes, and that way to bring you up to speed because we just keep moving forward. And you can get lost. Last week we talked about the elements. This is the Chinese word for earth, which is D. Okay? We'll talk more about that. Peace, my brother. What's happening? Good to see you, my brother.
Likewise.
All right. So, you can stop me at any moment, interject, add what you feel about. Because sometimes when people talk to you, thoughts come to your head, and you need to get them out so that everybody else can feed on that and elevate. We generate. That's why we're here, because we are similar in our thoughts. Otherwise, we wouldn't be even sitting here together. So what I say you might take with you and add your own stuff with it and feed on that. What you say, what a little child might say when coming here, I might go home and think about that for a month. So feel free. And my brother Shabazz is also going to talk a little bit and do some exercises or whatever the brother going to do, no problem. So I want to have more of an interaction. It's not a lot of us here. It may be later on. But like I said, your ideas mean a lot to me because I'll just, that one statement, and I could design a whole text that could educate a lot of people. Sometimes you do things in this world and you don't know the impact of it. One little thing, you could have told a child, pull your pants up, and you might change his whole life. You never know. You see. I want to give a shout out to my queen sitting right next to me. Jade, give her a big hand. Cameraman Terrence over there.
Thank you.
My brother Shabazz, and all my brothers out over here. Give yourself a hand for coming out today on a rainy day. Very good to see you today. Like I said, okay, so last week we dealt with the elements, and we dealt with water and wind. We'll talk a little bit about that today too. But today we're going to deal a little more with earth, because earth is really the beginning of any kind of magical rituals.
And so we've been talking about the immortals, and so why though? Why do I talk about the immortals? That's past history and all of that, but they had lessons that they gave to their family as it progressed throughout history. It taught them how the family how to survive, how to live, how to if your life is being shortened, how to extend it, and stuff like that. That's why niggas never look the age they really are. They always look younger than everybody else. A cracker will tell you that. Yo, what? You 60? Damn. You know, they all wrinkled up and pruned out and all of that. So you are immortal. It's just that your thoughts and the things that you do during your daily life takes away from that. And you possibly could still live a long time if you stay away from some of the poisons that there's so much information out here on. So nobody really needs to go into that too heavily. This is the symbol for Earth.
All right. So dig what he said here. He said, you're immortal. That's the title of this lecture. It's called Immortals. There's a lot of stuff that the ancients knew. That's why in the Bible they lived hundreds of years. Okay, we should know this by now. All right, certain foods you're not supposed to be eating. You're supposed to be drinking water, but you don't have to drink a gallon a day either. Because if you drink too much water, you'll be flushing out all your nutrients. You see what I'm saying? They use urine therapy. They use herbs. You see what I'm saying? They did a lot of things to extend their lives. They reversed diseases. Okay. Meanwhile, we clocking out at 60 years old, and people's talking about they lived a full life. No, they fucking didn't. Not hardly. I say this about Lance Reddick. He was only 60 years old. He looked as fit as hell. He always looked fit in Oz, in The Wire, and then he just dies. You see what I'm saying? This is happening a lot. Remember, I keep saying that a lot of people are going to be out of here, period. All right. So what you do in this life determines how your next life begins. You see what I'm saying? Or you coming back to do this shit again. Now, I get all the stress that people are under. I get that part, but there's ways to combat that. And that is the point. That is the point for them stressing you so much. Okay? They don't want people living forever. They want people living to 50, 60 years old and then they're done. All right? You're supposed to live a whole lot longer than that. All right? I know some people who 80 years old and just as active as a 20-year-old. I bullshit you not. I used to have a neighbor who was a Marine. 85 years old. He built the shed out just because the neighbor across from him would shine his light at night, his night lights, and it was going through his bedroom. This motherfucker built a shed from the ground up. I was amazed at that shit. You see what I'm saying? 85 years old. He did that. All right. So that's my whole point when I be pointing out the chemtrails and the poison water. You know what I mean? There are ways you can extend your life. There's a lot of people talking about, I think they misconstrue what Bobby was saying about fall in love with death. He meant the knowledge of it. Okay. What you going to do after this? All right. Are you looking at portals and going through them? Or you're supposed to be living. All right. You're supposed to be living. You're not supposed to be scared to live. People are trying to die, misconstruing the lessons. They're trying to die and they're afraid of living. It's backwards. See what I'm saying? Backwards. All right. One of the things that I always tell people is that you can get into the aesthetics of the craft if you want. For me, it made, I don't know, it just kind of, it made me feel like I was part of something. It made me feel like I was really powerful, like I was really accomplishing. I was, but I really felt it. You see what I'm saying? One of the things I'm talking about is when I used to write out spells on parchment paper, I used to use these. I was surprised I still have them. Okay. I would use black. I would use black for curses. Same with red or lust. Used green for money, of course. White all-purpose. Look at that. This is not blood, people. This is either Dove's blood ink. Yeah, it was Dove's blood ink. And I used, can no longer smell it, but yeah, I used to buy Dove's blood ink and bat's blood ink, dragon's blood ink. Okay. That's just the aesthetics now. I no longer do that, but it's something worth considering. Okay. Something worth considering. Something worth considering. All right. So I get it, but they've taken the info and become nihilist, or they hate living, so to speak. So my point. So my point. All right. With that being said, okay, looks like my time is up for today. All right. It is looking like really, if you could have seen yesterday here in Texas, it was a beautiful day. It was in the middle 80s. And now today is like, man, this is the kind of weather that makes people depressed and sleepy. Don't forget to prepare, y'all. Don't forget to prepare. All right. And if you are looking for building your own path, following your own foundation, honestly, I say this humbly, you can use my channel as a great place to start. Start from my beginnings. I've given out so many spells, I'm sure anybody could take what I said and put it in a book. I'm not bragging when I say that. When I think about how many times I've done that, you know what I mean? It is what it is. So with that being said, thank you so much, as always, for joining me. I will see y'all next time. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend coming ahead. Thank you so much for the Western suggestions. And those of you who I speak to privately, hit me up if you got any questions or anything like that. But again, thanks for joining me. Have a great day. I am the one, the only, the mystical and magical, the incomprehensible, the analytic, and the undeniable, the magical Magick La Croix. As I greet you in peace, I say namaste. Namastizzle. Peace.